today we're talking about integrating NFTs into company culture. NFTs, it's just one of the biggest trends right now. And we want to talk about what a company can do with this powerful new technology. Jessica, we're very lucky to have her with us today because she's successfully launched and manages an NFT program at Hellborn. Hellborn is an elite cybersecurity blockchain company, and they have an NFT program that's positively impacted its company culture, and it's also allowed them to reach new audiences with meaningful engagement. So, one of the things that I just wanted to first start out with is give the floor to Jessica so she can tell us a little bit about the NFT program with Halborn to start us off.
Yeah, no worries. The NFT program was kind of came about. Obviously, we're engulfed in the industry of Ethereum, blockchain, and all these different things. And our company is ethical hackers that kind of break into these blockchains to try and figure out where the rug pulls can happen and how there's vulnerabilities, and we help fix those things. So with that, we just kind of wanted to implement the entire culture we're living in and working in and really engulf our staff into it and make sure that they're very well knowledgeable and kind of they're trying new things and they're trying to get new cards and new NFTs in this case.
And one of the things that I absolutely loved when Jessica and I were talking offline is she told me about the program, but also its inspiration. You want to talk a little bit about the inspiration?
Yeah, of course. Our CTO is a huge gamer. Always been a great ethical hacker. Excuse me. How we are actually inspired. Our CEO and CTO were actually inspired by the movie The Matrix. Hence, Halborn, the AI personality in the back of The Matrix, that's kind of talking to them. And we really wanted to live in the industry that we're asking people to work with us in. So it made it all kind of like tie together with adding the NFTs and making sure that people got rewards for staying a year or staying 2 years. Maybe they got a reward for being the Doge killer and finding vulnerabilities in Doge.
I think it's really fantastic, the inspiration that NFTs have brought to the aspect of employees within Halborn. When it comes to those additional motivating aspects for employees,
Yeah.
what's motivating an employee to actually want to get an NFT from the company that they're working at?
Well, in our case, a lot of our NFT badges they're more of like achievements. They're attained with learning new skills, being a specific amount of time at the company, as well as this past annual retreat that we just had in Mallorca, Spain, which was amazing, by the way. We were given out about 12 different NFTs. This year I got Bitcoin Maxi. Go figure. I couldn't stop talking about Bitcoin. It's all I talk about to everybody, including my children. But it made it more competitive. It makes people more anxious to try and see what they're able to win and how their peers can vote with them. It also allows um, them to qualify for quarterly bonuses that we put together for them furthering their education, writing blogs, spending time training, attending conferences, speaking at conferences, speaking at technical schools. And quarterly, we like to go back and review those kind of things and find out how people are doing and if they're eligible to be, pushed into one of our bonus pools.
Fantastic. So if I was, well, I am an attorney with Halvord, I just learned that.
Yes,
But if
you
I was
are.
an employee with Halvord, it sounds like I have a lot of different motivational aspects in order to participate in the program and to get an NFT. Um, can you talk a little bit more about those badges of achievements? I know that there's some type of skill awards that are also involved, which is
Yeah, so we have
helping the
certain
employees.
Yeah, we have certain languages, Cosm, Wasm, Solana, Solidarity, and things like that, that people, it takes them a couple tests and CTFs to take to find out if they're able to qualify for those badges. But once they've qualified or if they've passed like the third badge, then they're able to get a bigger NFT and it shows in our little metaverse, our little Halborn Metaverse, which is really cool, which we have available for all of our staff to go visit at any time.
And it's really bringing kind of the whole picture together with the ethos of Hellborn, right? At
Yeah,
the start, you
definitely.
said their
It,
inspiration with Matrix, and there's the metaverse, or Hellborn's own metaverse,
yeah,
that the NFTs are displayed as badges of honors. When we're talking, I really one of the things that I really liked was the skill aspect of it. So
yeah,
right? So if I was an employee and I got an additional language under my belt, and I've got this NFT to go along with it, this is also a form of benchmarking
yeah,
for your company,
definitely.
right?
Yeah,
It-
it lets us know exactly where these staff and the contractors that we're working with are at in our program.
yeah, so you've got that internal benchmark then. So does that help with maybe allocation of resources on, hey, there's a select number or a certain number of employees that could benefit from getting more training in a certain area, and then those NFTs are used for a benchmark in any way?
Yeah, definitely. When we go back for reviews, we go over what those people have accomplished and how they've done it, how quickly they've done it from their start time to the time that they've accomplished those benchmarks. So it's really imperative for us to be able to use those for internal, promotions and raises internally. But on more than that, it helps everybody else see that the efforts that they're putting forth are being recognized, and it encourages others to motivates them in a way to get those same kind of badges and those same kind of um, those skills. And we find that you know cryptocurrency in general, blockchain in general, is a over it's always a developing industry that we feel like you can never like top off. You consistently learn, and that's the biggest thing about Halborn is we want to teach and we want to learn together. And we feel like learning together is the easiest way because we can find out easier ways to get to the end result without having to go the long way. And in cryptocurrency, it's never going to stop. Things are going to consistently being added, new blockchains are going to be added, new skills are going to be needed. And I think it's really important for us as a company to make sure that we're consistently rewarding training and extracurricular activities that they're doing.
Yeah, and you're hinting at it also being a community aspect with the
Definitely.
employees too. Yeah, so they're able to see what their colleagues have accomplished, and they're able to just say, great job, this looks
Yeah.
amazing. And then internally, they can see what is going to be happening, or maybe there's motivation to do something, or there's enlightenment because they see that that's an opportunity that they can do also,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. And on our Wednesday meetings, we announce it publicly to the entire company to make sure that those efforts that they've been putting forth, the time that they've spent is being rewarded as well.
So helpful for employee retention,
Yeah,
which
definitely.
we talked about, and we'll see this from everyone. Everyone talks about this that's at a company, but employee retention can be costly
Oh, very much
in
so.
terms of right time and resources. So if we can, as a company, find certain unique ways that are within the ethos of the company, to build that camaraderie and that community within the within employees is so important to help with the retention aspect.
Oh yeah, training and turnover has always been very costly. Offboarding, onboarding is very costly. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of extra hands to be making sure that things are getting done. So it's really helpful to keep it all a game inside the company and make it where people can talk about things and they can ask questions.
So, also one of the things that I think is helpful for employee retention we talked about is the ability for a client to actually reward an individual employee. Um, we do you want to elaborate a little bit more on how that could happen with an
Yeah,
NFT?
at this current time, we haven't implemented anything like that, but we are definitely looking into the possibilities. Of course, on a very safe network and making sure that there's no options of vulnerabilities, but possibly having the client just find a large um, our engineers to find a large bug in one of our clients' protocols or one of the different areas of their blockchain, and that client can come back and reward the and purchase the NFT of the engineer, and the engineer can get the bonus. It hasn't been approved yet, but it's been in the air to be talked about. So we're trying to still grasp about all the vulnerabilities of bringing selling our NFTs and trying to make sure that everything is super safe, because we're only going to practice what we preach. We're a very safe and security conscious company, and I think that that's the path that we kind of want to take. But there is a lot of options to find really cool ways to incorporate our clients in making sure that they feel like they're part of our NFT process as well.
Yeah, yes, and I know that it's not something that's happened yet, but I really hope that it'll be some inspiration to some of the
Yeah,
people in the
definitely.
audience today, because it's another unique way that you can use NFTs. I mean, if it's a company that has several different clients and that client wants to reward the individual employee, I mean, the client is already paying a flat fee for the services it's getting from the company.
Yeah.
But theoretically, it could also purchase the NFT from the employee if it wanted to reward that particular employee in a specific way.
Yeah, definitely. We feel like that could be definitely beneficial to their morale and to the company in general, and bring more interest in it.
Yes, and we kind of skipped on this too, but for benchmarking internally, we talked about
Uh-huh.
externally too. There is an aspect that Halborn can use for maybe clients, or not even Halborn, but anyone on this call. You could possibly use this for an external benchmark, in that, if you're tying your NFTs as a certain badge or reward, you could tell a client, hey, we have this benchmarking and it's transparent on the blockchain. I'll let Jessica talk a little bit more about that transparency and how it could be used theoretically as an external benchmark too.
Yeah, definitely. So internally, we have almost like a benchmarking, but it's an aspect of basically that we can show our clients who they're going to be working with as an internal offensive security engineer on their team, what their qualifications are, how much education they've pushed themselves to, how many extra attributes that we've recognized as a company that person entitles. So we feel like that's really important. We are listed on OpenSea. You can go straight to OpenSea, go into the top, type in Halborn, and you can see the NFTs that we have available. And we find this really clean and clear for people to find us and to prove authenticity of our people and the people that we put our trust into.
Absolutely critical. When it comes to using NFTs for an internal community aspect, you can use it internally, but then you can also own NFTs. And I know
Yes.
that some companies do own NFTs. And it can open up other communities there as well, such as potentially new introductions to clients. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
So we are current owners of a mutant board ape and a kennel club. Those are from the Horizon Labs. Most people know them as Board Ape Yacht Club, but their company's name is Horizon Labs, and they are one of our clients. We did purchase these while we were doing the audit on their systems, and we have kept them on our balance sheet. But in this case, it essentially gave proof to our customer, Horizon Labs, that we believe in their product and what they're doing. But more than that, we've kind of already been looking at trying to acquire new assets to add onto our balance sheet, because we feel like this is our future. This is the future of our company. This is really what we're doing and what we're really engulfed in. And it makes us really happy and proud to show those things off. Beyond that, it opens up the doors to let other clients see that we own these items, and that we possibly, if they had an NFT, we might want to own one of theirs as well. and it unlocks intros to other businesses. It opens up people's doors to say, this person's not only talking about this business, but they're actually buying from businesses. They're doing things to make this economy grow, to make this our little metaverse of cryptocurrency grow into a big cryptocurrency metaverse.
Yes, and I'm so excited when I learned about the Bored Ape asset within Howborn, and I've seen other companies do this too, which is why I wanted to bring it up just in case another person here on in the audience was considering doing this or is doing this. But if you own an NFT or your company owns an NFT, it can potentially open up communication doors with other people that own the same type of the same NFT from the same collection. And it's also can be used as another form of revenue if you're licensing the artwork that's attached to that NFT.
Yeah.
Um, so several different things that can be done from a business aspect by owning the NFT too. Um, so okay, Jessica, one other question I have for you is what helped Hellborn launch this program successfully? Because I feel like this is going to be helpful for anyone on this call that's interested in incorporating NFTs into their company culture too.
Yeah, definitely. We feel like the first thing that helped launch us into the company culture was having an amazing CTO that creates our NFTs. Because I feel like without him, we would be lost. He creates all the cool, spins and turns in our little metaverse that our NFTs have, and he names them as well. So that's the first thing, is you want to have somebody that's creating your NFTs. The next thing is somebody that actually will push them onto the open network. So in this case, we're using OpenSeas. There's lots of different networks that you can use to mint NFTs. And then you're going to go ahead and mint it. So you're going to pay a gas fee to add that to the network, and it's going to be for sale. In this case, we felt as though the NFTs, they kept they kept providing other people with the ability to see that we're doing something that's fundamentally proven, and it's going to be documented on a blockchain, and it's going to stay there, and it's not going to be able to be removed, edited, changed, or anything. So it proves that follow through and that plan of attack and per se. But integrating the program in general is just really getting the right team together, getting the right development, the right mindset, understanding how to infiltrate, OpenSeas, and pushing your artwork on there and making it public to everybody else.
Yes, and having the technical background in launching a program like this it's very important. I know from my experience working with several digital artists, um, just having the someone to support you in the minting process is helpful, or you can do the lazy mint on the OpenSea, which is great. Also, you have a couple of options. But the last position you want to be in is not having that background knowledge,
Yep.
and then just letting someone else that you don't have that relationship with take control of the technical side of things, because it
Yeah,
can get costly.
yeah, it can get costly with the gas, and also paying attention to what the gas fees are for minting at the time. Sometimes doing it in the middle of the night is a little bit more affordable. Sometimes, checking out the network and finding out how busy it is, because obviously the gas fees are on the network's demise. It's really about how busy the network is.
Yeah, if that's so interesting. I'm wondering how that's going to pan out in the short run, but we'll see.
Yeah, well,
So
they have big plans to make bigger block sizes and cheaper gas fees, so we're hoping for it in the future. But we always are hiring, so, if you wanna have your
and if
opportunity.
it's with Halborn, you're going to Spain apparently. Didn't you recently go, you said?
Yeah, yeah, we just went to Palma de Mallorca, Spain, and we spent a week out there doing team building, getting to know each other. And like I said, we had a retreat dinner, and we announced new NFT unlockings. We announced new badges and rewards for staff, and it was really cool. I mean, it was pretty amazing to see and to feel the congratulatory feeling in the air. Just people are so excited for everybody else. And it just made them want to strive harder for next year, because every year we go on a company retreat to a warm, warm location.
And you give Ethereum away for prizes.
We do. So this last retreat, my team came in second place, but we ended up doing a scavenger hunt. And at every stage of the scavenger hunt, we had to kind of figure out cool things about Palma de Mallorca. And when we got to the next clue and we passed the challenge that they had at these little stations, we got these little cards, and we put these cards in like our pocket. And then when we got back to the end of the scavenger hunt, we had to put those cards together and figure out what they were. In this case, it was a private key. So we now had to go online. We had to insert that private key, sweep the funds, and pay and try and administer the fee or the funds to our own wallets. When we were doing that, it's a funny story. When we were doing that, I previously was like a financial controller for a wallet, so I was always aware of a child over parent transaction. And if you have a private key, not a public key, but a private key to a wallet, and you try and sweep them and you send a very low fee, you can do a child over parent transaction, essentially taking the funds first by pushing more gas towards the fee. In this case, Ethereum and Bitcoin, you can do bits towards it. And I threatened to do that, and my CTO looked at me. He goes, "That's what I want to hear. I'm going to go refill it, and I want you to have your team go take their transaction," because they were being cheap on their gas fee. So we kind of went through it. They upped their gas fee. They did the child over parent transaction, took it, but my team still got a half an ETH. And I made sure that they knew that that was for them and not for me. And my biggest was teaching them about child over parent transactions and how you could still take somebody's
It's
money if you have a private key.
it's so great in that every aspect that Halborn is doing, they are really again keeping to the ethos when it comes
Oh
to the
yeah.
NFT program or not. But NFT programs, it can go beyond a blockchain related company too. I know that we're closing up on time with 3 minutes. So because there's those creative use cases, and
Yeah.
Jessica, you're really showing how there is a variety of ways that can be used within company culture. But as a last question, has there been any challenges with implementing this program?
I feel like the biggest challenge is just keeping up with it. Making sure that every amazing talent, every amazing skill that we have at our company is being recognized. And I feel like that's the hardest thing, is just trying to make sure that these skills are recognized, these badges are made, these NFTs are minted, and these people feel that congratulatory from our company and not just, from the work that they did.
Fantastic. So we have a few more minutes. Not sure if we have any questions for either Jessica or myself, but we're more than willing. How can I make sure my NFTs are purchased by others? Okay, Jessica, this one's for you.
So no financial advice. I don't ever throw financial advice, but definitely publicize yourself. Try and find yourself a friend in the community that is prominent in NFTs and reach out to them and ask them, do you have any friends that are looking for really interesting NFTs? What are they looking for? Try and find yourself your niche. Don't copy what everybody else is doing, because they're just going to think you're a copier. You got to really create something really intricate, something new, something developmental, and publicize it. Push it out as much as you can.
And to that point, I've come across people that specialize in marketing NFT collections or drops, and they do it through several different platforms. I know Twitter is a really big one right now for the
Reddit is
marketing
another
aspect.
one. Yep.
Really? Okay, Reddit, and
Yeah.
then yeah, there's a few different platforms that there's specialists with.
What do you
Okay,
recommend us to
this is you,
start
Jess.
a blockchain career as a developer? I would definitely, if you wanted to work in blockchain, be familiar with the languages of blockchain. There are some, like Doge in general, it uses C++. So it's an older code base, but you have Solidarity, there is Rust. Those are really important ones that we're seeing a lot more developers come out in. And I feel like, just trying to keep your finger on the pulse of what new cryptocurrencies are coming out, and then trying to figure out the language that they're coding in, that is your best key in.
I have one other note to add too. If you are not technical, you're a lawyer or a marketer or something, read the blog posts that are coming from these technical aspects, like Ethereum. I read the NFT blog posts on them, and it just helps you understand the tech background of it.
Yeah, definitely. And all of my jobs are open right now. They're posted against my LinkedIn, so you guys are feel free. Not all technical jobs, so feel free to check it out.